Hello, Africa. Hello, Nigeria. And greetings to you watching from the rest of the world. And I just wanted to make a quick one here. Does leaving the organization cause bad things to happen? Does leaving the organization cause bad things to happen? Now, I remember when I was in the organization, you know, there there are always stories coming out, of how a certain brother that had been disfellowship, or um, a certain brother that had stopped attending meetings, or a brother who no longer considers himself as a Jehovah's Witness. There had been stories of how their fortunes have turned out to be. There have been stories of you're back against Jehovah and this is what you get. You know, stories like that abound. He left Jehovah and a few years down the line, um, he lost his job or something like that. He left Jehovah. A few months down the line, he got afflicted with a terrible disease. He left Jehovah. I don't know, a few months or a few years down the line, he he got killed. There's those stories like that, like these, you will hear on the platform. Which are stories that are spawned to keep the friends, you know, glued to their seat. Don't go nowhere. When you leave the organizations, that thing is sure to happen to you. But is it? I have thought like that too, why in the organization my critical thinking skills, wasn't what it is right now. Though I wasn't completely brain dead while in the organization, I must tell you that. I wasn't completely brain dead. But my critical thinking skills is a lot more sh- uh, sharpened now. So but I bought that narrative of, don't leave Jehovah. If you leave Jehovah, something bad is bound to happen to you. Now, I just got off a heated, overwhelming conversation with my younger brother. He's an elder, and we haven't spoken in 4 years, and somehow we got in talking terms. Not really, we're not really talking, but something made us to have some, uh, um, made us to exchange a few chats and highs. So I'll spare you the backstory, of that. So I had sometimes would send him stuff about the organization, and he said he'd seen it all. He didn't want me to keep sending to him. He doesn't want to see anything. He doesn't listen to voices of the voice of strangers. He called it voice of strangers. I'm listening to a voice of strangers. So, well, uh, recently I had an altercation with my mother, and for that reason he had sought to take his pound of flesh. So in one of these WhatsApp chats and recordings, he sent me about 40 voice notes of he was cussing me, cussing me out. Even though he's an elder, he said he's dropped his religion and he wants to teach me a lesson. So we started, I was also responding to him. We talked about, we talked about a lot of things. Maybe I'm gonna make a video on that some other time. But the interesting part I want to bring out here is uh, when he started to talk about people who have left the organization, those that I know. He mentioned the names of people that I know that left the organization and what happened. No, he told me, after after calling me out, and he said, okay, now he want to tell me a story or some stories to buttress his stand. A certain woman who after some years came back, he had even been an apostate. A certain brother who left to another religion, uh, could even perform miracles, but came back and is now the coordinator. Now that there had been likes of me and people who have gone, they have returned, but those who did not return, um, look at what has uh, has happened to them. So I not say, well, if you are a Jehovah's Witness and you're watching this, I need you to um think critically. Let's try and see if that's actually the case, that when you leave Jehovah organization, that something bad is gonna happen to you. So let's take the case. One of the stories it told me about a certain sister who had a problem with her husband, left, you know, who had even attended other churches but came back. Apparently, during her e- exit from the organization, she had made certain choices, a decision that had put her in bad shape. She lost everything she had when she left the organization. Um, had a stroke, so it probably dawned on her, according to my brother, that she had led a bad path and she needed to return to the organization and beg for, excuse me, and beg for forgiveness. And I say, was it because she left the organization, she lost everything that she had before, and the reason why? And I say, no, she left the organization first of all because of a problem she had with her husband. Okay, some people leave the organization like that because of, they had a problem with brother Jones, and they've been badly treated, so they leave. Sometimes not because they are not convinced that this is they had the truth, but they just got frustrated and they left. But she, the sister in question now, left and returned. While she was away from the organization, she made some bad choices. All right? And it's not because she left the organization, it's not because Jehovah was looking down on her. That'll be fun. It wasn't because Jehovah was paying, was going to pay her back, was looking down from heaven and saying, "Oh well, this woman for leaving me, this is it." It was Jehovah's maneuvering that made her lose everything that she's ever had. No, it's simply because she made some bad choices that she left. And why do I say so? There are people who are in the organization, they could be businessmen or what have you, that have lost everything. People in the organization that have come down with terminal illnesses, strokes, even some have jumped to their death. What do you say about this scenario? What turned their fortune around? Was it Jehovah that turned their fortune around? It's just pure coincidence that you leave the organization and it turns out that you're living in the world and bad things happen, and it happened to you not because you left the organization. There had been people um, who have left the organization 30, 40 years and they're doing okay. Though, there's some that have married. I remember sometime when I watch JT and Lady C. I think this guy's been married for quite some time now, and they left the organization. It's been like 20 years, and I still see them as couples, doing well, doing fine. Their marriage have not broken apart, and if it did break apart, it is not because they left the organization. So my brother right now is predicting doom that is going to be a matter of time before I, I get broken. That slowly and surely he's going to be out there waiting to see it. And I said to him that, I think he's doing everything. He's obsessed with me now. He's doing everything to guilt me into submission. But I let him know that those stories he told me has nothing to do with Jehovah's organization. The choices you make. I I leave the organization, and you know there are certain things I engage in. You know how it is. Things happen. It has got nothing to do with a God, you know, who would now, because you left him, allow bad things to happen to you. Because bad things happen to those in the organization as well. But when they do happen, they would say unforeseen occurrences. But when you leave the organization and something bad happens to you, they would say you left Jehovah. That's the reason why it happened. So I thought I'd just let you know this. So if you're a Jehovah's Witness watching and you have this fear, phobia that it's not going to be well with you when you leave the organization, it's certainly going to be well with you because I've been out for 5 years now, and you know when I was in, I wouldn't think that I would be away for 1 year and something bad would not happen. But I've been where things are going on for me very normal, except the COVID-19 that has kept me at home uh, for 4 months, 5 months now without uh, a dime in my pocket. you know as a global thing and a temporary thing. So it's not something for me to break sweat about, you know. And but I said to my brother that even if um, it were true that people leave the organization and something bad happened to them, I choose to be in that bracket. You know, just like the Hebrews in the Bible, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they said that even if God refuses to save them, their God is not the one they would serve. So I let him know, no matter what news, what bad news you hear about me, it should be assured that it has nothing to do with his Jehovah. And if that were to be the case, I don't even care. So you leave the organization and you got hit by a truck. It's not because it left the organization. Shit happens. Unforeseen occurrences before them all, according to the Bible. So then you begin to even look into the organization critically. What do you say about um, a brother out there in service got knocked down by a car and died on the spot? Now you can imagine that, you know, a brother with his back and service doing the work of the Lord in Jehovah's organization got knocked down and died. What would the witnesses have to say? What a better uh what a better place to die for a Jehovah's Witness, really. That's those are the things that usually struck me. Some time ago, a lorry, a truckload of witnesses. This is Africa. Sometime when we go to convention, we're back. We'll load up on a big truck. About how many families, 10 families, 15 or 20 families in one here. I thought it was risky then. And, some witnesses, because of potholes and all that, have lost their lives. And I would say to myself that, how would Jehovah allow a thing like that to happen? If he didn't protect us individually, what about collectively? What would people say? Jehovah's people, they just perished. But watch, nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about that. The last one that struck me why a year before I was awoken was this dude who fell off atop a ladder while he was trying to fix some electrical stuff, and he died. I remember when we were going back home, one of my very good elder had quipped and said, "Oh, wow, wow, no, how could it be that you are working in Jehovah's vineyard and this would happen to you?" So he just wondered aloud, and I heard it, and I thought so too, that it's something that I would usually want to question if God really does protect at all. So that's it. I think the summary of this is that leaving the organization doesn't cause bad things to happen. If bad things happen to you, it's as a result of the choices you have made that you know turn that to be, or pure coincidence that you just left the organization, something bad happened to you. It has got nothing to do with God or Jehovah, or unforeseen occurrence. They don't fare better than you. You are even much better than they are inside the organization. So do not let them guilt you with that or spin that around. So that if you're exiting, your heart will, it's like pounding. Wow, what's going to happen to me now? What if they are? What if they're right? You know what if they are right? Well, to quench and quell all doubts, all you need to do if you're an Jehovah's Witness awakening, or you have awoken and you still want to just sharpen your conviction, all you need to do is to do more research. You know, research, and more research to convince yourself that Jehovah's organization is not what they say it is. It is not the truth and will never be the truth. Thanks for watching. This is Wesley's. Thanks for sticking around. I just thought I made this, and do subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video.